You came here looking for a sign. Maybe you will not admit that. Maybe you clicked on this for a different reason, habit, curiosity, background noise while you do something else. But somewhere underneath all of that, if you are honest with yourself, there is a part of you that needed something today. A signal, a confirmation, something that cuts through the noise and the exhaustion and the mounting pile of reasons to stop and says, clearly, directly, without ambiguity, keep going. This is it. This is the sign you have been looking for. Keep going. Not because everything is fine, it is not fine, and you already know that. Not because the path ahead is clear, it is not clear, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling something. Not because the hard part is almost over, it may not be. Not because the outcome is guaranteed, nothing in this life is guaranteed, but because you are still here. Because the thing that brought you to this moment, the dream, the mission, the person you are fighting to become, the life you are refusing to stop building, is still worth fighting for. And because the version of you that stops today is not a version you will be able to live with. Welcome to Motivation Daily. Today, the message is simple. Today, the message is everything. I want to tell you about a man named Derek Redmond. In the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, Derek was considered one of the favorites for the 400-meter race. He had trained his entire life for this moment. He had sacrificed everything, relationships, comfort, certainty, years of his existence, for the chance to stand on that track and run the race of his life on the world's biggest stage. The gun went off. He was running beautifully. And then, with 150 meters to go, his hamstring snapped. He went down. The race continued around him. The medical staff rushed toward him with a stretcher, and Derek Redmond did something that stopped 65,000 people in that stadium cold and has been watched by millions of people in the decades since. He got up, not to compete. The race was over. The medal was gone. The dream he had carried for years was gone with it. He got up and he started hobbling toward the finish line, tears streaming down his face, in agony, with no prize waiting, with nothing to gain from the finish except the finish itself. His father broke through the security barrier, ran onto the track, put his arm around his son, and together they walked the final stretch, not running, not winning, just finishing, just refusing to let the track be the place where Derek Redmond stopped. The crowd rose to its feet, 65,000 people standing, weeping, not for a gold medal, but for the most human thing they had ever witnessed, a person who had every legitimate reason in the world to stay down, choosing to get up and keep going anyway. That is the sign. That is always the sign. Not the conditions becoming favorable, not the pain disappearing, not the outcome becoming certain. The choice, the raw, costly, beautiful, completely personal choice to keep moving toward the finish line, even when everything that was supposed to make the finish meaningful has already been taken away.
Think about someone who has been sending out job applications for months with nothing but silence in return. Not rejections, silence. The kind that makes you question whether your email is even working, whether your resume is landing anywhere, whether you have fundamentally misunderstood your own worth in the marketplace. The silence is its own kind of cruelty. And every morning, that person has to decide, do I send another one today? Do I keep showing up to a process that is not showing up for me? Do I keep going when the evidence that going is working is essentially absent? The answer is yes, because the alternative, stopping, retreating, accepting the silence as a verdict, guarantees the outcome they are afraid of. Continuing guarantees nothing, but it is the only move that keeps the door open. And doors that are kept open long enough eventually let something through. Think about the parent who has been trying to reconnect with an estranged child, who has sent the letters that were not answered, made the calls that went to voicemail, reached across a silence that feels like rejection even when it might simply be pain, who has been keeping going in a relationship where keeping going looks like continuing to show up for someone who does not appear to want them there. That is one of the hardest versions of keep going that exists. Not building toward a visible goal, tending to something broken in the dark, without confirmation that the tending is doing anything at all. Keep going. Not because reconnection is guaranteed, because love, real love, the kind that does not require reciprocation to remain love, does not stop at the first silence, or the second, or the 30th. Because the moment you stop is the moment the door closes permanently, and the cost of that moment, if the other person ever finds their way back, is too high to pay. Think about the entrepreneur who has launched and relaunched and pivoted and rebuilt so many times that the original vision has been modified almost beyond recognition, and the people who started the journey with them have long since gone back to safer ground. Who wakes up every day in a business that is still not working the way it was supposed to by now, still requiring more patience and more faith and more tolerance for uncertainty than anyone told them it would take? Who has had the conversation with themselves, the real one, at 2 a.m, about whether any of this is ever going to work? Keep going. Not blindly, not without honest evaluation of what is working and what needs to change, but keep going. Because the people who build remarkable things almost never look like they are building something remarkable in the middle of building it. They look like they are struggling, because they are. The struggle and the building are the same thing. You cannot have one without the other. Here's what I know about the moment you are in right now. You came to this video because part of you was looking for permission to continue, for confirmation that the effort is worth it. For someone to look at the specific weight you are carrying and say, yes, keep going. It matters. You matter. The thing you are building matters. And the person you are becoming in the process of building it matters. So here it is. Keep going. The effort is worth it. You matter. The thing you are building matters. And the person you are becoming in the process of building it, through the hard days and the silent days and the days when the finish line is completely invisible, that person is the most important thing being built of all. This is your sign. You found it. Now go use it. Share this with every single person in your life who is in the middle of something hard and needs a sign today. This one is meant to be shared widely. Subscribe to Motivation Daily. We show up every day because you deserve a sign every single day. Drop a comment and tell me what you are keeping going with. Just say it out loud right here. Your commitment is someone else's sign. Let's go.